This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, the 6th of July. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather should be relatively calm. For the rest of the week, we trend hotter and drier. Check it out. There's the big picture, the persistent northwest flow aloft pattern that brought a series of boundaries and fronts and waves in here. From the northwest, that's broken down. Upper air ridging beginning to build in, and that means a more typical summer setup this week, with the storm track shifting well to the north. These are at midday, doing the video a little early today. Those were at noon. Now, Gadsden's not at 90. Again, that is not accurate. They're trying to get that thing stabilized, but most spots are in the upper 70s and low 80s. We'll expect a high in the mid to upper 80s today. The 7th consecutive day with a high under 90 for Birmingham, but I do think we hit 90 tomorrow. But it's been quite a streak, very rare for this time of the year. Flash flood watches in effect for a number of states west of the state, and in that same zone there is a risk of severe weather this afternoon and tonight, but they've taken out the marginal risk here. A storm is possible in a few spots, but organized severe weather not expected. This is tomorrow, a marginal risk way up north. And on day 3, again, a small marginal risk around St. Louis and Indianapolis, but things are pretty quiet down here. Rain, not much for the next 5 days. Valid through Saturday morning, a chance to dry out. Amounts under 1/2 inch for most spots. The big numbers from near Wichita Falls, Texas, up to Kansas City, St. Louis, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. The bullseye 6.7 inches south of Oklahoma City. The Atlantic Basin still very quiet. Most of the action is in the western Pacific. We've got 3 systems over there. One could be a significant typhoon headed toward Taipei in China, looks like. But again, that's where all the action will be for this week and maybe beyond. All right, model fans, here we go. The 12ZGFS, valid tomorrow at 1 o'clock local time. And you can see how we're making the transformation from that northwest flow aloft to a ridge. Down below that, a pretty typical summer day. Partly sunny, a pop-up storm possible, but not likely. Here's the high-res NAM, 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'm seeing 3 green specks on that map, and that's about it. So obviously a lot of people will be dry tomorrow. And again, a good chance we break 90 for the first time since June 29th. And that's going to be the story for a while. This is Wednesday. Again, low 90s are likely. Thursday. Could there be some rain? Yes. There should be rain every day, but they'll be very widely spaced. These afternoon storms and Friday. No northwest flow aloft, no boundaries slipping in here, so any storm should be during the afternoon and evening, like you expect in summer. This is Saturday as the weekend begins. You can see that 594 ring, the heat bubble it's on top of us. So it could be pretty hot. The one good thing we have going for us, it's the soil moisture. We talked about that. So instead of mid-90s, maybe low 90s. And again, any storms isolated in the same story on Sunday. But next week, the pattern begins to break down again as a new trough begins to form and the northwest flow is back. The heat bubble shifts off to the west, and again, down below that, this is not showing much, but the heat should begin to back off on Monday and maybe some spots back in the 80s. Here's the end of the forecast. This is next Thursday, July 16th. We've still got troughing here. And again, that doesn't look especially wet, but there would be some risk of scattered showers and storms and highs, maybe in the 80s with that pattern. And again, these top numbers I think are too high on the ensembles. It's got us up in the mid-90s, like 96 on Saturday and Sunday. I think 92 or 93 is more realistic. And toward the end of next week, instead of 91, we'll probably see highs in the upper 80s. Anomalies July 13th through July 19th. This got us above average, but again, with the troughing we're seeing, I wouldn't be shocked if we're close to average or maybe even below for this time of the year. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.